installation. Let us say you downloaded the source code and you followed the steps which were mentioned like in the documentation, like how to install this Postgres, say using you may say like source code. Now, in such a case, like what exactly you are supposed to do is you are supposed to verify whether have you really achieved the goal which was supposed to be done by you. So, in such a case, you will require one important thing that you have to carry out. So, let me show you what exactly I mean by that particular aspect. Okay, so let us go to terminal. So one thing that you are going to verify after with assumption that you carried out all the stages that were been communicated on the or that were documented on the Postgres source code site. Ultimately, now next step would be like you must have seen that you have to create manually sometimes the Postgres user. Okay, because you are installing it from source code, and then like you definitely wish to see like whether really is your Postgres is added or not. So do this ps-ej capital H grep Postgres. So you should be able to see like 5 to 6 or maybe 7 sometimes depending upon the version that you're using. Okay, uh, services for your system. Like those who did complete installation of Postgres software, correct? You can verify that part ultimately from the source code that you already have installed. Now, next thing would be like after you are done with verification of this, like you must have seen there comes an error sometimes with respect to your data directory and so on. So your configuration parameter should be set appropriately. Now the files that by default goes somewhere here. Okay, so you can fire this command. Say you first say cd tilde so that it will take you to home. Okay, and you may fire a command. Say pg underscore hba dot con. Now sudo dash s. Okay, so you have to particularly get through this particular file. So you may say like you go to conf etc and then PostgreSQL and then try to find out whether your particular directory is available there or not. So PostgreSQL directory, and you should be able to now go to this directory, and depending upon it, you can fire particularly the you may say you can search for the file first less postgresql.conf. Okay, here try to find out after installation what is the directory that you give for data directory and HBA. Configuration by default goes to etc only, multiple number of times as per the settings, but I want you to find out how exactly these directories are taken care of from the source code side. So whenever say for a while your data, or maybe you may say like your installation is done, there should be some mechanism which might be firing the execution command with respect to starting the server, Postgres server and so on. So how exactly you will verify whether has it been really added or not? So you definitely will require some file, source file, which will do that task for you. Because whenever I am writing, say for example, I am following this. So if I fire this, okay, so like you can completely verify whether you want to really work with. Okay, so ps dash ejh grep Postgres. So if I try doing this kill -9 1017, now if I fire again this command, then I may not be able to see my Postgres machine working. So how exactly I am now going to check whether like similar, like when you fire after installation, if you don't get anything, that means your server hasn't been started. So how will you verify now whether your server is started or not? So how will you start that service? So can you let me know from the documentation from where you saw the file would be fired, or the execution of the server or service related to Postgres server would be initiated? Which command you used to start initially your server? Can somebody tell me by unmuting? You can let me know. Okay. Have you seen that part? Rather, how exactly we do check whether our service or our server is installed properly or not? And after installation, has it been really started? Like if your service has started, then ultimately you should be able to see the services that we saw through ps-egh. If it is not, then how will you start your service? Or how will you start the server? Can you update me? Yes, please. You can let me know by unmuting or typing into comment window. With assumption that you already gone through the documentation which is shared with you all earlier through Moodle course site. Fine. How will you verify that part? Yes. Anybody there? Or you haven't completed the process which was supposed to be done by you earlier? How will you start the service? Okay, so I assume you are so find say pgctl, sorry. So if you really wish to search for this pgctl, how will you go with this file? Okay, because you wanted to search that particular directory. How will you search that file? Because you want, like if I go to my source code which is available with desktop, there might be different directory available which are containing multiple such aspects rather related to my Postgres software which I downloaded. So if I try to search into this, but these files which I am trying to search are available in source code, but I want to find them on my local machine. How exactly I can do that? Yes, anybody there? Can you let me know, like how will you go with searching the files? Yes. See, if you don't answer, I cannot proceed further because it is mandatory to be known by you. Like how will you locate files? How will you search files on your machine? Am I audible, by the way? Okay, using grep command. Okay, any other aspect? How will you search using grep command? Shubham, can you let me know how will you find out this? Can you unmute and tell me how will you write that grep command on the shell prompt? You let me know so that I can type in on terminal. Yes. So what should I type now? ls or something else? Shubham,
Sir, are you looking for a file or a word in a file?
I'm looking for a file, not word in a file. So I
Uh,
want a file called pgctl, which would be used for starting the service.
sir, so if you want to look file, so you can use find command.
Okay. Let me know
Find
how
space
I
find D
find
and directory
file. Okay.
file. find.
Find dash D,
And
then
uh,
from where I want to search, and then which file I want to search. Is it?
yes.
Okay. I'm not getting it. Correct. So like if I talk about, see this, how shall I write? Where? Hmm?
So I think something missing in this command. I will search and then tell you.
So
So
dash D to be the path. So it will not be used.
so
Dash
find
D.
hyphen name or file name.
Okay. Find
Find hyphen name.
hyphen name.
Yes. By
Shall I write?
typing and space file name. Yes.
Okay. It seems it is incomplete. Yes. Any other thing?
Sir, using locate command, locate and file name.
Okay. So it seems I don't see locate command. Okay. So like how will you write for this locate?
Uh,
How,
just type locate and file name, so it will search all over the directories.
okay. All directories would be fine. Correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So like let me write the thing command. Locate. Locate then file name. pg
Yes,
underscore.
sir, file name.
So pghba.conf. No, something is missing even using this locate. Yes, do you want to add something? So if I say dash d slash etc, how shall I write this? Or do I have to make use of some other command? Hmm? Okay. I'm not able to get it. Correct. How will you search this file? So do you use some search window through file manager? Is it the way that you really go with, or how will you achieve that goal? So if I write here, like because from home I definitely will not be able to get it. Yes. So if I search now this, okay, seems it is going to help me out. pgctl. Okay, so it is available in bin directory. Correct? Because every file goes into bin. So if it is the case, then let me try. So man pgctl.
Uh, Hello, sir.
Ah,
Sir, by using locate, just put the file name in single quote.
single quote.
And locate single quote मध्ये star slash pg underscore hba star and single quote complete.
Underscore hba
Star
star.
single quote complete. Yeah. It's showing in my PC, sir.
Yes, anybody like to help me?
Sir, where is command पण आहे ना?
Yes, correct. So there is where is as well. So pg hba dot conf. But again, like how exactly it will know, because we are in home directory, correct? So if I fire this way again, what are the different missing operations for where is? Yes. Because as it is a configuration file, we definitely require some kind of parameter, okay, which will let us know that where exactly it is. So where is locate, multiple options are. But now if I go to that, let me go to that bin cd slash bin, then if I go with pgctl, okay, so you specify like what are the options, because I don't want to I don't want to work, I want to work with the default things. So how exactly I will start my server? So it is given rather in this documentation as well, as well as the documentation that you must have seen rather with respect to the file. So if I say pg, where is pgctl? Okay, pgctl we got into usr. cd slash usr slash bin pg underscore ctl cluster. Yeah, we have to make use of pg underscore ctl cluster. I assume you have you gone through this documentation, because I thought you must have gone through documentation. How will you start the server? Hmm? How will you start the server if I have to start with? Because it is mentioned in the documentation how exactly you are going to start and stop. So if I write pgctl cluster, what way I should write? Action would be start, stop, reload, whatever. Correct. But then how should I write? So do I write pgctl cluster, then say 9.4, then can I write this start? So it says okay, it something is missing. So where is my cluster? Where lib postgresql or shall I write main? So okay, postgresql @ 9.4 dash main. Okay, so okay, so let us write sudo dash s as and fire this. So pg ctl cluster, okay, start, fine, and then what? Your command, or you write this. Let me try this one, okay, and then start. Okay, so what it is saying again, am I missing something? So if I write this, pg ctl, I can make use of system ctl as well, but I want to make use of this pg ctl cluster because I want to start my server. Now from 11 onwards, this pg ctl cluster is used. Okay, though it was added in the source code rather with respect to the version that you have, and it was the kind of development that it had earlier, correct? So ultimately I want what? I want my server to start and stop. So how exactly I'm going to do this? I want inputs from you. How shall I go with this? How to start the server? have you gone through the documentation? Because I asked you to go through the documentation as well. Like majority of you started this, created the cluster and so on. But I haven't got any response from you all, rather, in respect of getting the information about how the service should start. How you start the service. So either you use CTL cluster or PGCTL. Correct, system CTL or PGCTL. So system CTL, I can go with this, rather the way that it is saying. But then, like if I start with this, say by being root over there, then I may get it, as I said. Okay, so if I now fire ps-ejh grep Postgres, then I'm able to get all my services running. But like if I see the version from 11 onwards, it is suggested not to make use of the system CTL, and I have to make use of PG-CTL cluster. Fine. How many of you have installed more than like version more than 9.5, above than 9.4? The majority of you did, right? 11 or 10, even 13, and so on. So, like considering this system CTL is an internal command provided by Postgres for the Linux machine, correct? So if I go with this system CTL, it will tell me, because it is talking about the system MD command and this service manager. But this is not the command meant for my Postgres server, though it is helping me out. Okay, it is helping me out to control execution of my service. But I don't want to really make use of the system CTL. Fine. So your task would be like, you can write up your task now. I want you to find out how exactly you will start the service instead of using this system CTL or service command. Like you must have seen one can use service command as well. Okay, which will run the script for starting the service. Correct. And then it has that, like which service you want to start, and you mention what exactly you want to do. Correct. So system stop, system start, and so on. That's how you go with this. Okay. So note it down. What would be the next task? I have seen that like a few of you are asking me question offline. I mean to say on personal WhatsApp about say different search mechanisms, like how will you search the file and so on. Okay. I want you to find one important thing. What it is, like if I try to search this file, for example, if I go to etc PostgreSQL and say 9.4 main, this file pghba.conf is available here. And if you go to cd, like where I installed my source code, where I copied my source code. Okay, so if I try to search here in one of the file, correct, I definitely would be getting, say for example, if I go to cd config and if I write this, I may get some different aspects available, like how exactly they would be used. And even like if I go to say GUI rather, and if I search, if I go to particular directory of Postgres, this one, and if I say pg_hba.conf, this would be a kind of file sample available there. And I don't want rather to really use either of the file which is listed here, because this is from the source code. And while you install the files from the source code, then it is going to create replica of the server available with different files over here. Correct. I want you to specifically find out the command which I was talking about. So if I say go to cd/etc, which is my default configuration. Okay. Now, if you are not able to access your server by stating that it is not permitting you, you have to make changes over there one place. Okay. So it might have written here peer and here also peer. So you have to change it to trust. Make sure that you write local all trust in this local thing, like second space where this would be for your Postgres user, and this would be for all other users that you are going to make use of, right, on your local machine. So you should type local all and trust, and this is for administrative login. Local all Postgres would be your user because type database user and address. So local all Postgres, okay, and then trust. So when you say trust, ultimately you mean to say that okay, you are permitting all other users rather to add or make changes in the system, fine. Okay, so like in such a case, ultimately, while you are making the changes in the particular file, and then you can restart your server, so that restarting the server or service will help you out to get executed what are the commands that you wanted to execute. Okay. Yeah, so that's how Mrinal is saying correctly. You have to write that USR slash. You have to start your service this way only. Okay, and that's what this PGCTL means. Now, what happened was while you installed your service, okay, or your server, you should be getting this kind of message if your initDB is successful. Correct. But let me tell you, like what are the dash D that you are writing. Okay, dash D would be the new cluster that you have created. But now my question is, this is the data directory that you have, correct? Now in my machine, as I haven't installed it through source code, the data directory for my machine is this cd/var /lib /postgresql, okay, and then 9.4 main and so on. So this is my data directory, correct? So for your case, the data directory would be /home and whatever you wrote, correct, after dash D while creating the cluster. Now, what happens with the configuration, where your configuration files are? So Mrinal, can you search it on your local machine where your configuration files are? I want you to find pghba.conf, pg_hba.conf. Now, if you did this exercise successfully, the first exercise which I was talking about, like in terms of installing through the source code, and if you could get initDB also working fine, okay, as per your data directory, start the service, okay. After starting the service, write psql-l. If you don't get it, then ultimately again problems would be much more. Fine. Now this data directory name should be added in your postgresql.conf file, because if you recall, we saw that in one of the file, like for example, if I write less /etc/postgresql/9.4 and then you write postgresql.conf, in this file you should be able to see the data directory and HBA directory name. Okay, so this what is written with respect to this? Okay, data directory. This should be your data directory. It should be replaced by the data directory name that you have given for cluster. Now there comes one other thing. Like if let us say we are working like an Amazon portal, correct? Let us take an example, a sample case. Amazon portal is there, and we are considering that state-wise the data should be configured. This is our assumption. Whether Amazon is doing that way or not, let us not much worry about. Now, what I want is, like if somebody is ordering, like, and if he wants the delivery time to be say one day or same day delivery, in such a case, then ultimately how exactly I am going to filter the data. So what I will do is, like if I can see that, can I create state-wise data? So for each state-wise data, I may have my own data directory for each state. Now there will be multiple servers running on one machine only. So there is a term called replication. Notice down, replication. What exactly this replication means? Like for example, if you try to install 9.4, you already installed it and you want to install now 11. Now will it permit running both the services? Maybe not, maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know. But what if, like if I want to run different servers, say for example, when I fire this command ps-ejh, and then you are writing grep postgres. So sometimes what happens is you will see replica of this again displayed, like this would be displayed continuously. If I remove this file, for example, this line, then I'll be seeing that two instances are running. Okay, then I'm not sure which instance I should start with. How the service, how the server is taking care of with which cluster I am working. This might be, say, for example, default cluster, and this might be a new cluster that you have created. So how exactly I can define? That is the reason, like if you see in comment box what Mrunal stated. So she got this message. So while you write this -b, while you start service, you are specifying which data directory should be picked. Okay, for the server to work with. Now, depending upon your data directory names, if you create multiple copies of such case, what is replication in English? If I really want to define this replication, does it mean copy? Does it mean copy? Replication means what? Is it copying or something else? Yes, please. Does it mean copying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So can I create replica of my database? And then depending upon the choice, like at 10 a.m. I want to work with first copy. At 11 a.m. or 11:30 I don't want to work with another copy. Now it can continue depending upon like my requirements, how exactly I'm going to work with the system. Correct. And then if at all I'm really worrying about which copy of data directory I'm working with, then I should be able to connect with these databases. What are the expected databases are? Say, like you may work with different two databases. Now, as an example, I asked you to find out a partner ultimately. Now, with assumption that you both are working on one machine. Okay, though you have two laptops, one would be acting as a server. Now, say laptop 1 and laptop 2, and laptop 1 is acting as a server. Now, what I want is laptop 1 should contain two data directories. One is for member 1 and other is for member 2. And these data directories are separate. Now, depending upon the request given by the user, how these copies are handled from the server side. Correct. And this would be definitely a question. Now, think of this. Why majority of the email services have created a specific country-wise domain? Like for example, we don't see gmail.co.in. Correct. But we definitely see google.co.in. Why this was done? Why they never, like if you type in, say for example, let me go here and let me type this, say google.com. Now when I type in and if I try to search, say for example, now it is not telling me that it is searching from google.co.in, but sometimes you definitely see that it is taking you to google.co.in. Now why this is so? Why they are creating different copies of the services? Any reason behind it? Any reason behind this? Why it is showing you that kind of stuff? Yes? Any reason? Why the separate domains are created country-wise? Are they really, do they really exist, or it is only for showing you? Right? For example, if I go with the browser and if I try, say for example, this case, say Yahoo, no, sorry, yeah, yahoo.com. So will it open yahoo.co.in or it will open yahoo.com? Yeah, so I got this. So it says in.yahoo.com. Correct. Now how exactly this is managed? How this is to be managed? Like who the user is? Because Google, even Microsoft may have their own clusters. Okay. Their own data centers depending upon cities, even depending upon states, depending upon countries, depending upon the areas, geographical areas. Correct. how they are going to differentiate that data, because some same query might be fired by multiple users, that and we have to keep track of that data. Like once I visited Google Office, okay, at that time I saw a very big screen there, and where all searches can be seen there. Like the screen was really very big, like for example, like say some n number of feet, 150 feet by 150 feet, for example. Okay, and all search queries were shown as in a pop-up there. Now, when you see this, if number of users are firing, we have to keep data about what was searched by whom, and it would be required for security issues rather with respect to the country's thing. Like what are the different cyber laws that are filed by the company? So I have to keep that data. Now, how exactly you will go with such a case? You will keep that data accordingly on your system, and it will definitely, it is going to make multiple changes rather in the way that you are accessing your data, correct? And now when you go with creating these replications, okay, have you tried searching replication term? Yes, please. So if I write say replication, in PostgreSQL, because this is one of the best database site. What is PostgreSQL replication? The process of copying data from a Postgres DataSQL server to another server is called PostgreSQL replication. So does it mean backup? Does it mean backup? Or it may be. But then why you want replication? Replication may be meant for depending upon the distribution or usage of the data that you may be expecting. How exactly it should be done? Correct. Then if you see the contents of your PGHBA, okay, let me show you that. CD/etc. Okay, let us go with Control-S. If I see this file, see whether you get this. Yeah. Now see this one. Allow replication connections from localhost. So this PGHBA also contains that information, whether are you permitting replication of your server. Now if backup is there, we already have a command called pgdump, okay, which may permit us to take backup of the system, and I hope most of you did that, carried out that activity. Now like if I have to do this replication, for what purposes this replication would be used for, or how exactly it would be used for? This would be a question, correct? So the thing that I want you to find out from the source directory which you might be using, okay, so let us go to folder, and first thing I assume what you find out was, I was talking in previous session about something related to OID, okay, CTID and so on, correct, if you recall correctly. Now apart from this, like if I have to create a table, so we saw a create file, create.c. Let me go to, say for example, backend. Okay, there was, can you recall where we exactly saw that create? Okay, go to command and let us see create as. We saw this create as. Now I want you to find out when you fire create db or when you fire create table commands, okay, create database or create, what are the options those were available to you? For example, if you write ps control d, when you write psql, okay, and when you fire this create and tab, so these are the different options. What are the specific files which may get executed in background when you write create aggregate? I want you to find out all such files for all these things. Like if I see 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 32. I want you to find out these 32 things for say aggregate which file gets executed. If I write create group, which file gets executed or which function gets executed from the source code. Right. So if I write say create database. Now while I fire this, say for example SPC temp. Now when I fire this with owner say this. Now while I fire this command, it definitely must have executed some file in the background. Okay, can you tell me which file got executed for this create database? Similarly, if I fire create table SPC temp with I integer. When I fire this, it is displaying this message to me. I want you to find out these messages, create database, create table, okay, and so on. Like if I write another thing as well, so for example, create view SPC test1 add select star from pg underscore class, say for example. Now I am getting these commands, these outputs. Okay, I want you to find out which files are containing these messages: create database, create table, create view, create function, create foreign table, whatever. Like depending upon even this create schema, create rule, create operator, and so on. How exactly or where exactly these messages are stored. So for each case, like start with this. So say let us say you copy these all. Okay, and then take gedit and you paste them. Okay, and then I want you to specifically find out for this. You organize them in proper way, and I want you to find out. For example, create aggregate function. Like when you fire create aggregate, suppose this is the file. This is the file as an sample case I am writing containing this message for create aggregate. Okay, and this is available in this path. So you write file name here, file name, and its path. Okay, for each of them. So try to write this. So you have to find all these aspects, like what are the outputs, those are shown with create. Which file contains that message, create aggregate. Okay, understood the question? Yes, please. Any query about what is to be done? And you have to find this in source code. Okay, the whole source code directory that you have dumped with, correct, on your machine. Say in SRC, which directory is containing that file, or that function, like that message, create database, and so on. I want you to specifically find out that and upload it by 9 p.m. today. Okay, I will create a thing for you, task number 3 on Moodle course site. Okay, for our SPC Postgres course. So you have to add that file as a text file. Okay, file name should be your roll number .txt. Okay, you can add task 3 roll number and .txt. Fine. This should contain the way that I explained before a while. Like it should contain some contents like this: aggregate. Okay, then I can find this into this file name. Okay, what are the file name that where you found that, and the path of the file where exactly it is stored. Fine. So what is to be found? I want you to find out these messages. Say for example, create database, where exactly this is. Create table, where exactly this is. Create view, where exactly this is. Fine. So next fourth task would be like if I make some error here. For example, if I try to do this, then it displays me this syntax error for each and every such command. Like for example, if I go with this view as well, so it shows me syntax error or errat. Now this is a common thing. Only it is changing what? it is telling me where exactly this is. So it is picked from the SQL command that you find. For example, here it is showing me which is not found. So I want you also to find what are the, like if you recall, I already asked you what are the different errors, where exactly this error checking is done, which file is responsible for checking these errors, which are maybe operated or which are getting executed from the file when your user is interacting with the database server through this PSQL client. Fine. These would be the two tasks. So like that you have to work with. Fine. And you can, maybe you can add both the files in one task only, task number 3. So first would be your text file, and second thing would be what are the different file names where these error messages are stored. What are the error messages that you make? Like you can say, for example, you suppose you write this. Okay, so message is sent, correct, and then it lets you know where exactly the problem is. So I want you to find out where exactly this error can be found. Okay, this would be second file. Okay, which you have to add a text file again, and then the path. Okay, where exactly this error is stored, and from where it is picking that error. Right? Find out through the source code. Is that okay? I'll be adding few other tasks for you all, okay, which are to be done by next Monday, because next Monday we will have our next session for Postgres. Okay, try to finish the activities, keep visiting Moodle every day, okay, so that like at least our course site, so that you will know what are the activities to be carried out, and these all activities would be carrying some amount of mark. Right now we are only searching, okay, later we are going to make changes in the source code. We are going to make changes in the source code. Like for example, I want to display create database. Okay. And before this create database, I want a message to be shown like this. So my username means your username or your roll number, say for example 19101, and then create database. So I want you to make this change so that while you make the change in the source file, make sure that your original source directory is intact. Okay, you can keep downloading that, make the changes and do the things. So whenever you are making this change, you have to add two screenshots. One is which file you made the change, okay, the line number appropriately, and after you execute, like it should show me this kind of stuff, rather here. This kind of message 19101 should be displayed here, correct? For example, with assumption that my roll number is 19101. So it should display that error to me here this way. And then I am going to add screenshot of this current file. Okay, so two things. So I will be adding those assignments or those task sets for you. Okay, so you can, like depending upon the number of files that are to be added, either you create a tar file or you add separate files for it. So it would be better if you give proper naming for the files respectively. So right now you are going to only add screenshots. Okay. And when we are here, when a task would be given, you are going to manage one text file where whatever task those are given, you are going to maintain the status. Okay. Whether have you completed the task, then if errors are, what were the errors and so on. So that file would be like we are going to monitor for every student who registered for this course. Fine. Any question? Have you understood what I am going to ask you next thing? What are the messages those are shown? Can you make change? For example, here, what are the way that the message is communicated to you? I want this to have a prefix, your roll number later. So this would be another task that I will be adding soon. But first finish the task that was given to you. Task number 1, 2 already was given. Okay, and now I am going to add in today's like by end of day for task number 3. Okay, and maybe in a day or two, I will be adding task number 4, 5 subsequently, so on. So those would be the tasks that you are going to work with. Understood? Any question, query till this time? If you have, you can let me know so that I can answer your queries. Right now, only try to understand what is meaning of replication. We are not interested in carrying out replication right now because your hardware may not support every such things. Fine. If you have any question, you can let me know so that I can